What a flippin' mess, guys. What a flippin' mess. Can Steve-O ever win for losing? I tell you what, guys. I tell you what. Unbelievable. It's live and learn now. Live and learn, Steve-O. Live and learn. My whole life's been a learning curve, you know what? But isn't yours? Don't you have the same issues that I do? Anyway, yeah, I got a flippin' mess here. This thing looks like crackhead hunters, hookers headquarters here. I'm telling you guys, look at this mess. Look at this mess. Look at these frames. Look at that. Look at it. Look at all. I had these spotless. You remember here? Look at this. Look at it. Look at the junk on them, guys. Watch it. Look at the junk. That whole pile of frames, I had sparkling clean. As you remember a while back, I'd set up, these were die outs, okay? They were die outs. If you're a beekeeper long and all, you're gonna have die outs, all right? So what I did is took them out. I said, I'll trick these wax moths. I'll put these in the freezer, that'll harden up. Then I'll take my wooden scraper and scrape them down. Then I really, oh boy, my brain was working there like Hunter's brain. I went and put them out here and I took a brass wire wheel and wire wheeled these things right down to the foundation. Then I fired up my crock pot and I rolled fresh wax on there. Went through all that, spent, I don't know, I probably got $30 worth of wax on this stuff. But I didn't, there was just small particles of pollen underneath that. Well, guess what? Guess what? Let me sit down here. Yeah, there were small particles of pollen underneath that wax. So the wax moth, those little sons of bitches, yeah, they just been plaguing us beekeepers from forever. They came in and went under there and they've set up and ate all that pollen under there. Totally blew out my wax that was on there and turned it into this friggin' ridiculous, look at this mess I have here. And then they got these little cobwebby things. Yeah, and then they've set up and, yeah, it's just a mess. They send these, see these little cobwebs? Look at this. It's nasty. And then they leave this little crumbly stuff all over everything. So, yes. So what I've got to do here, of course, is just pop out the plasticell. Now I've got all these cracks in here where the stuff is. And when I put this barn together out here, this shed, I ran from my main barn out here with a PVC pipe under the ground, 1/2 inch, and I installed an air line. So now I've got this air line on a reel here, and my reel lock don't work anymore, so I tied a loop knot and stuck it over that end there to hold it from reeling back up. So now I've got air that I can come in here and blow this crack out. So that works very well. It's a friggin' mess, but at least I got that clean to where I can reload them. I've got to take this whole stack, guys, every one of these, all these, and I'm going to show you the next thing we're going to do to clean this mess up. Now, here's the plan. We're not going to just repeat stupidity, okay? What we're going to do now is clean these up, and I'll show you my new cleaning process. I'm not doing the brass wheel thing anymore. What a pain that was. Yeah, you remember I was doing that, and then I was walking all in that wax, all right? And I get a nice buildup on my shoes from all that wheeling brass wheeling was all over the ground, all over me, all over my glasses. This process I'm about to show you is still a little sloppy. You get wet, but at least you get clean. Now, the foundation here, I will stack these up. I'm going to leave them in the flat. I'm going to clean these out. Once I pop my plasticell, I'm going to blow these all out with air, store them, and as I need them, I got quite a few wireframes. I've got another probably 70 more of those that I need to assemble and we'll put wire in, so we'll eat those up later and intermingle these two, but I got to clean these all up. It's a mess. And we're going to re-wax them, but I'm not going to re-wax them just prior to kneading them. So say about 3 or 4 days before I knead, I'll take an inventory if I'm making more splits. I'm probably not going to do any more splitting, but I may need to use these to double stack some of the singles I have now going into this pepper flow. If I have these single 5s blowing out, I don't want them to swarm, so I'll add another box and hopefully they'll add resources. If I can get, it'll be cool if I can get just double stacked 5s. That's 10 frames of bees. Well, my breeding season for bees starts around end of February. My drones start flying heavily end of February. If you go further south down around the Keys, you can breed bees down there, I think, year round. Up here where I'm at in the middle of the state on the west side, you know, not so much. You don't have that many drones flying, so anyway, but what I can do is end of February, I'll have plenty of drones flying. I can split off, evaluate my colonies, bust the resources, eggs, brood, top and bottom on those 2 5s. I can chase everything downstairs when I'm ready to split, chase everything downstairs, put an excluder in, come back in 24, they will equalize. I can peel off the top box, haul to another site, and then sell the queen that's in the bottom box. Sell that nuke. That way I'm making fresh queens every year. I'm getting fresh queens every year. Granted, a queen can last 5, I know that, but I don't want even a second-year queen. I want brand new queens annually. You're going to get the best. You're going to get the best performance out of a new queen. So that's the plan anyway. So yeah, this is a friggin' mess here. I got a flippin' mess here, guys. I really do. But we're going to clean it all up again. And let me show you how we're going to do that. Let's move on to the next little segment here. Okay, guys, what I did, I went out there and looked at Harbor Freight. I said, I told Miss Daisy, I got to have a pressure washer. This thing with a wire wheel, drill motor, I went through like 5 of those brass wheels, wheeling this stuff off. And I said, no, we got to do better than this. And I just had to bite the bullet and just do this because I didn't want to buy a pressure washer, but I said I've got to have a pressure washer. So I went out and looked at Harbor Freight stuff for under 200 bucks. Well, they had a 2000 psi rig, Harbor Freight did, and it was right there 189 something. So, you know, time you get done, it was 200 bucks. Well, Lowe's, I looked at Lowe's, and Lowe's had this little puppy, which is right around the corner from me. Yeah, it's got down here, it's got a stuff you can put soap in, or I think you can run bleach in that if you like. And it's a nice little, it's called Greenworks. And Greenworks, and it's a 2100 psi. You get a soap nozzle, you get a couple other nozzles, and then you get a turbo nozzle. And I found this turbo nozzle works pretty good. You're going to get wet. You're going to get wet with this operation because I don't know what it is. It's hitting the cells and it's popping back at you. But this seems to be doing a good job. And all I did was throw down, I had a piece of This was in stock. I had a piece of PT plywood, and I took a spring clamp and just caught it right here. And then you got a push button here on this puppy here. And it shuts off when it hits at PSI. You see that, dude? It's a turbo tip. I have some paint that was on this piece of plywood because I use this for painting hive. Look at it. Cleans it right off. I got an issue here. Okay, I had a little airlock or something in that thing, and I took off this side right here, and I let it flow. I think there was a little airlock in the line, but anyway, yeah, this turbo tip. You're gonna get a little wet with this thing, but it cleans it nice. You see? I didn't get right down there in the bottom of those, but this is going to clean it up plenty good for what we need. It shuts off. When you let off the thing, it hits pressure and then shuts off. There's one tip I haven't tried yet. Let's try this one just for giggles. It's this tip here. The tips change out quite easily. You've got a quick disconnect. You just pull this back and shove it in. Let's see what this one does. Actually, you don't get as wet with this one. See how nasty that is, guys? That is nasty. Yeah, it didn't get cleared down into the bottom here, but I don't think it will with the turbo tip either. The turbo tip, the problem with it is it splashes back at you quite a bit. The turbo tip goes around like this. See all the junk on that? If you can get upwind of the spray, see the spray going back? get upwind of the spray, you're not going to get so wet. Yeah, this is going to work out all right, guys. I'm going to put this one back. They got spots for these bits, or these tips rather. You stick them in here so you don't lose them. But yeah, this is going to work out fine. I don't think, I mean, you can go on up to $350 and on up, craziness prices. But for what this is, and this is all I'm going to do. I'm not going to, I farm out. I got a guy that comes in when I want to do pressure washing of the house. He's real reasonable, and he does the whole slabs, he does the house, he does everything. And for what I need for these plasticell cleanup mess, and you could use this thing on the boxes too, for that matter. I will just re-wax these just a day or two prior to utilizing them, and yeah, this is going to work out fantastic. So that's the deal. Live and learn, guys. Live and learn. But for the money, I mean, this thing was like 200 bucks. Greenworks, Lowe's. It is what it is. Here's your on and off switch right here. That's your on and off switch. Do not run this thing without agua hooked up. You got to have water in there. You'll burn up these pumps, they said. You got to have a water supply. Don't even plug it in unless you have your water hooked up. And then, I don't know what happened there. When I first started this thing, see how that water comes out? That turbo tip? It's coming out in a spiral. Coming out in a circle. Yeah. I don't know why I quit before. I think it had a little airlock in it or something. But anyway, it's not an issue. All right, guys, that's it for today. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by the old base camp. I gotta fire up the old John Deere and start cutting the hayfield, guys. No rest for the wicked. See you on the next one. Be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting on in Steve-O's world. See ya. Bye-bye.